also have to break down this.
That'll still be the case. I mean, he didn't seem too big for Joshua. He was able to handle.
Joshua didn't come to fight. It's a different mentality. You know, Joshua, his mentality is way different than the Tyson Fury. Joshua's okay. He's okay with. Go ahead, bro. Yep. You know, it just seems like he's comfortable with, you know, losing the fight. You know, he's gracious or whatever you want to call it, has humility or whatever you want to call it, but it's too easy for me, boss. I mean, oh, it's okay, bro. Like, listen, it's hard to train, man, when you got the whole world at your feet, bro. It's hard to train and stay focused and stay dedicated and, you know, and having that hunger and desire, bro. You know, because success, that weakens this, bro. And I think that in the Ramirez fight, I think the biggest issue, not Ramirez, Ruiz fight, I think that ruined him. I think that ruined his confidence. I think that he's also scared to get hit. He's gun shy, don't want to throw because he's afraid of getting hit. So that's why you didn't see him throw. I mean, Usyk's a small heavyweight. He does have some snap on the shots, but he's the bigger guy. He needs to act like he's the bigger guy. You know, it's almost like he's a big guy, but has a small man mentality. He needs to switch that around, and I think the only way is that he got to have a talk with himself. That's the only way to fix that. He has to talk with himself and say, hey, how do you want to be remembered? You know, how do you want to be remembered? How do you people want to, you know, what you want? The last thought on people's mind is to be this way, you know, because that's the thought on my mind. I'm like, you ain't got it, bro. You don't have that killer instinct anymore. You don't want it. Where's that guy at that fall Klitschko? Where's that guy?
Especially after Tyson and Deontay just showed it.
You bring that guy out. You beat a guy like Usyk. You know, and it almost like it seemed like he was starting to get the game plan, but then he just kind of ran out of juice, and he was just okay and just laid down. Was like, all right, well, I'm okay with just losing. It's fine.
I got the rematch clause.
I got the rematch clause, the whole nine, and that's the problem that I have with rematch clause sometimes. You know, sometimes guys feel that like, you know what, it's okay. I'll get a rematch and I'll come back and I'll win, and that's fine and dandy, but you know, I'm the type of guy that's like, bro, you got to give it everything you got, man. Everything you got. And the fans, they see, bro. They see what I see. They see what we see when we're calling these guys out on how they performing. So the fans are not dumb.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. Oh, man, it's bad right now for your mans. Anthony, Mandela Ghandi, Joshua, the newly crowned UN, United Nations Peace Envoy. Yeah? So, whilst we have to congratulate Anthony Mandela Ghandi for his new statesman position at the UN, yeah? Because you have to listen, you man know me, I judge people on a case-by-case basis. And it's a wonderful thing that a guy from the hood or the so-called hood in Watford has made it all the way to representing nations, to representing a global, what would you call it? A global entity that is known for keeping peace, yeah, the UN. Yeah, and not only that, AJ is topping it all up. He is the peace envoy to the world right now. So only the most peaceful and whatever you want to call them people can own that position. Gandhi's held it before, Mandela's held it before, one of them ones. Yeah, now AJ, they've passed the torch down from Gandhi to Mandela, now to AJ. So it's a beautiful thing. I'll give AJ credit for that. Well done. Yeah, because you are certified. You love keeping peace. Yeah, you don't want no problems with no one. That's what you don't want. What we know now is AJ will do anything not to have no problems, and that's why the UN recognised that. The UN saw that. The UN saw AJ's ability to get punched in the mouth and turn the other cheek and rock and roll on the ropes. Do you understand? That is a rare quality. Most people get popped in the mouth by a man half their size and they think, oh, what is this? Who does this guy think he is? But much like Martin Luther King and Jesus, yeah, Mr. Mandela Ghandi Joshua, when he got licked, he gave him the other cheek. That's what Martin Luther King said. If someone hits me, I turn the other cheek and give him the other one too. That's what AJ... Watch it yourself. Yeah? Usyk popped him in the mouth, and AJ gave him the other cheek to pop him again. Pop him some more. Yeah? That there's a rare quality. Only the greats, like Martin Luther King. like Mandela. Mandela spent 30 years locked up. And when he was released, humble. Yeah? All the way humble. So, we understand, and I'm proud of AJ for owning that statesman, peace envoy, representative for the UN. 100%. However, we just heard there from Timothy Bradley. And as it pertains to boxing, Timothy Bradley is really one of the only dons to hit the nail on the head and pretty much say everything I've been saying. Yeah, Tim Bradley comes out from the jump and says, listen, AJ ain't bothered with losing. And the words that Timothy Bradley used, I couldn't have said it better myself. In fact, I have said it exactly the same way. Yeah? He said, when AJ loses, you get the feeling that he just isn't that bothered. And it's all well and good giving it that humble rubbish. Well, he didn't say rubbish, but Timothy Bradley said it's all well and good giving it, oh, I'm humble and all that. But that's just not what the essence of the game's about. The game isn't called get whooped and turn the other cheek and be happy and grateful you got whooped afterwards and show loads of respect for getting whooped and thank the man who whooped you for whooping you some more. That's not what the game's called. The way AJ treats the game, it's like, oh, I got whooped. Let me now, after the fight, thank him for whooping me. What? Yeah? AJ completely redefined the game. I mean, and again, I give AJ praise because we know there's many wars going on in the world, and the fact the UN has recognised AJ's ability to keep peace, yeah? He is now a talisman of peace. People watch that fight, that world war. Bear in mind as well, AJ's from the biggest continent in the world as such. His heritage is from the biggest continent in the world, and there's many conflicts. Yeah, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of warlords who watched that fight and they saw AJ's ability to get popped and do nothing about it, and they think, wow, maybe I can not, you know what I mean? Maybe I should not tool up these 5-year-old soldiers. Maybe I should put down my arms too, the same way Mr. Anthony Mandela Joshua didn't do nothing to my oppressor. Yeah, all the dons out there being oppressed in the world today. All the Somali pirates out there who have had their fish stolen by the big vessels. Maybe they're going to put down that. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you what I'm hearing. You know the YB #1 journalist right now in this game. I've spoke to some of my links in the Somali open waters. Have told me, listen, YB. Yeah, we're fixing to put down our arms. We watched AJ so peacefully and so mercifully, so respectfully get whooped and do nada about it. Yeah? AJ's bringing people together once again. Even people who are the most oppressed. The way Usyk was oppressing AJ in that ring. Even the most oppressed people can now understand that. Despite how much you're being whooped on, how much you're being schooled, you can always take pictures and be happy and thank the man who's schooling you. Yeah? Thanks for schooling me. Thanks for oppressing me. That's what I'm just telling you what's happening right now on the streets. That's what I'm hearing people report in the streets across the world. Yeah? People across the world are reporting to me that YB, after watching how humbly Mr. Mandela Ghandi Joshua got turned over and how thankful he was afterwards, taking pictures and shaking Usyk's hand and thanking him. Thank you for oppressing me in the ring. Thank you for folding me. Thank you for turning me over. And saying, you know what I mean? I want to tell you what's happening right now. Yeah? But Tim Bradley said, listen, I don't know about all that. Not in this game. Yeah? This ain't the peacekeeping game. Unfortunately, this is the equivalent in 2021. This is the equivalent of gladiators. Now, Tim Bradley points out that it is hard, possibly, to get up with silk pyjamas or whatever, but that's not necessarily true, because I used to give AJ that excuse, but really, when you look at the greats in the sport, and this is also something Tim Bradley says, who do you want to be known as? What thoughts do you want, who do you want to be known as? The fans aren't stupid. Because right now, I've just told you what the streets are saying. The streets are saying AJ is a UN peacekeeper, yeah? A peace envoy. Peace talisman. All the warlords across the world are looking up to AJ, looking for peace right now. 100%. That's what they are doing. Yeah? But unfortunately, you ain't in. This game is the most, as far as sport goes, as far as anything legal goes, this is the most vicious game you're in. The most vicious. And it seems to be, or the vibe everyone's picking up on, Tim Bradley included, it's almost like you want to prove that you are mandela Gandhi. Yeah? You want to prove that you're some sort of peace envoy. And it's super fruity. Because ain't no one trying to watch that. So, that's the truth. Ain't no one trying to watch it. It's almost like, oh, but I've been beaten, but I want to prove that. Like, how moist do you want to prove you are? I don't get it. I can't understand that. I can't understand it. And the thing that gets me is, I've watched back AJ's early fights, and there wasn't that vibe. I'll tell you what everyone needs to watch right now, because you man don't appreciate how far we've actually come. Go back and watch AJ versus Dillian White. The gloves are off. It's only 6 years ago. Watch that. It was shocking. I thought, where's that guy gone? Honestly, after the 2019 fight, yeah, against Ruiz, some people were saying AJ's been cloned. And honestly, when I couldn't believe how far we've gone. When I saw the man sitting there talking to Dillian White, and I thought, what's going on here? And I mean, even after AJ beat Dillian White, yeah, he didn't shake his hand. He gave Dillian White, he served Dillian White up something vicious, and then that was it. Done. What happened to that? Because I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch you whoop someone than walk out the ring not bothered. But now you've gone from whooping someone, and even then, because for example, Tyson Fury whooped Deontay Wilder, and there was bad blood to an extent, and even he humbled himself, and went to shake Deontay Wilder's hand, but you didn't even do that with Dillian. So that was the most vicious way of doing things. You served him up, and that was it. You're gone. Now it's like they've replaced you with some next floppy thing, super duper floppy thing you've been replaced with. It's like you're trying to you got a point to prove. It's almost like your point to prove isn't that you're the greatest fighter ever, isn't that you're the best ever and the most feared in the division. It's like you want to prove that I can be, no matter what happens to me, I can be moist. It's almost like the powers that be are trying to condition the public. Oh, no matter how much no matter how much we get, you got. You man best just turn the other cheek, keep turning. That's what I feel like. I'm gonna tell you what's happening. I feel like this is some next psyop thing, and they're trying to condition the public. Even when, you know what I mean? No matter how much we oppress you, man, in the future, make sure you do like AJ does and just keep turning the cheek and be super soft. Yeah? It's almost like they're trying to get us to, no matter how big you are, people, even if you're 6'6" and 250 pounds, and even if you was once the most ferocious Don, you can still find a way to turn your cheek. That's what I feel like happening right now. Because it don't make no sense to me. I can't understand how a 6'6" Africanulese looking ass in there with some next Don half his size, and he there on the ropes, soft looking. Not one. There ain't one punch in that fight where you see AJ screw his face up and dig in. You don't see it. Not one punch. Do you see him really turn it over? Nah. Get that snapping. For example, watch Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Both men. You see, never mind one punch, a whole bag of punches. You see them go. You know what I mean? Digging in, jabs. No matter what it was, jab, right hand. Every shot they threw, 90% of them were with bad intentions. AJ didn't throw one bad intention shot. What's going on? It's a madness. And your legacy right now, people say things like, but YB, all the greats lost. They didn't lose like this. I'm sorry, but they didn't lose like this consistently. Everyone has a bad night. The bad night wasn't the problem. The losing wasn't the problem. It was how it was done. And then the mannerisms afterwards. Tim Bradley says that, because it wasn't just the mannerisms, it was also what was said afterwards. Afterwards, AJ said, it was great to get 12 rounds in, and yeah, I can't wait to get back to the gym. It's almost like with Telai, I was about to say it's almost like you treated it like a sparring session, but that's actually what it was. Your performance was sparring-like. Amateur sparring-like at that. Because it wasn't Floyd Mayweather gritty doghouse rules like. Because I've seen Floyd Mayweather's gym, people in there get into it. I've seen people in Floyd Mayweather's gym, rightly or wrongly, getting stuck in. Throwing heavy shots, leaping into their shots. So it weren't like the doghouse sparring, it was like Rob McCrappen's served up amateur special. That's what it was. So for all the people out there who keep telling me, oh, YB, he's humble and all this stuff, but humbleness isn't what we're talking about here. There's being humble, and then there's being whatever this is. This ain't humble. This is like, it's almost as if AJ has got some sort of, it's like a built-in incentive structure. That's the only way I can explain it. It's as if he's being rewarded somehow, whether emotionally, psychologically, I don't know where the incentive's coming from, but the bottom line is there's some sort of incentive going on here. His brain's been rewired. Don't worry if you win. AJ, you're not incentivized to win. You're not incentivized to work hard. To fight hard. You're not incentivized for any of that stuff. Your incentives, the things we want, the things that AJ is chasing right now, he's chasing to be floppy looking. Because call me a liar, at the end of that night, what was the one goal that you can say AJ achieved? The only goal AJ achieved that night was to prove that he could be as floppy as possible. And that's a fact, people. That's not me, YB's a hater, YB's a turncoat. I'm being honest. Before the fight, if you wrote out a checklist of things, none of them were accomplished. The only thing we can be certain that AJ accomplished is that he was able to lose and be happy about it. That's the only thing, I'm afraid. That's the only thing I can tell you I'm sure of. Yeah, he's happy about that. And then afterwards, and that's the thing, this is what gets me. Afterwards, Eddie realises how bad it looks publicly. And Eddie has spent the last 3 weeks telling us what we should be seeing from AJ. Oh, he's really angry at the moment. But yet on his Snapchat, he's smiling and laughing and having a whale of a time in a burger bar in LA. Oh, yeah, but he really hurted at the moment. But, it doesn't add up. The way AJ celebrating, right? I'm not saying he went to the club, but the way he and the son, I don't see no. Oh, YB, I just don't know what to say, people. Again, because no matter what I say, people always say, oh, but he wants to. Yeah, but he's humble and this, that, the other. But it's getting to the point now that you're not winning, you're not fighting hard, and all that anyone has to say every time, the answer to everything is, oh, but he humble. And that's what I'm saying. That's almost become the shtick. That's almost become the whole, oh yeah, well don't worry about nothing else. Your goal, your target, is this brand image thing. The brand image has become the whole works. But what got you to that position where brand image even mattered was the fighting. Do you understand? It's like it's all back to front now. Maintain image. And the thing is, I don't care what no one says. It's not even a cool image. I've seen Cristiano Ronaldo. We know footballers, yeah? We know footballers are renowned for being weak as such. They're renowned for diving on the floor and whatnot. I've seen more passion out of Cristiano Ronaldo, who, by the way, I'm not sure now, I'm not sure in recent years, but in the past, Ronaldo was known as a massive diver and a bit of a crybaby. I've seen more passion out of him. I've seen him with his, whoever, but I've seen him in particular with his Portugal. And when he's losing or things aren't working right, you can see it. He's not happy at all. I've seen, in fact, everyone, all the greats, Hamilton, Tiger Woods, pick who you want. Every single one. You know how they're feeling, but apart from AJ. But yeah, and the thing is, we've already identified, he's in the most vicious sport as well. How is it I can see emotion from Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Jump on the floor, but yet, the 6'6", 240 pound alleged baddest man in the world, should be one of the baddest men in the world, he's super fruity. What's going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. It's some sort of psyop thing going on right now. 100%. We're being conditioned. I'm telling you now. It's conditioning right now. It's conditioning. 100%. Yeah, 100% psychological conditioning. And if that's the case, yeah, AJ, if you are in some, what's that film called? The one with the Get Out. That's it, AJ. If you are, and I feel bad because it might be the case, yeah, that AJ is locked into some Get Out thing. If you are locked in there and you hear these voices and you're screaming in there, I apologise for you, man. Hold tight, yeah. You're going through it right now. You down bad. But at least know, your man know I be out here. Yeah, I'm advocating for you right now. I know you're in there, you're trying to get out, and you're knocking on the side of the head, and you want one of them goofy ones, and you. Yeah, that woman came around your yard the other day, and she was doing the thing with the tea and going around in circles, and you locked in right now. But I understand you going through it. Yeah, keep fighting it. That's all you can do. Keep fighting. Try and get out one day, because you locked in there 100%. I'm convinced. AJ, the real AJ is locked in his mind right now. They've done some next thing with the teapot. Yeah, I'm telling you, some next white done went in there with a teapot and was going around in circles, and he's in there locked in 100%. I'm telling you, what? Go back and watch AJ versus White. The gloves are off. Don't tell me this is the same guy. I'm sorry, I don't believe it. Because yeah, people can change and mature, but it's wow, it's mad. And even watch AJ versus Brazil. Watch that one. Gloves are off. And you know what? Even watch AJ versus Klitschko. Gloves are off. All of them. And in fact, I think the reason I'm mentioning so much about gloves are off is because I think Sky put out a compilation of all of AJ's gloves are offs. And it was one of them ones. Or something like that. And I thought, wow. My spidey senses were tingling. It just didn't feel right. I don't think this is the same guy. Now, Tim Bradley argues that it's not the same guy because of what happened with Ruiz, but I don't think it's to do with Ruiz. Personally. Is he gun shy? Yes, he is. But this is another level gun shy. It's deeper than that, isn't it? It's deeper than gun shy, in my opinion. This is systemic. So, I don't know what to say, people. Tim Bradley, he hit nail on the head. Although we do have to give, well no, I was about to say we do have to give AJ some credit, but he hasn't changed camps yet. But if he is changing camps, that's at least a step in the right direction. Some people, though, are getting way too gassed. The changing camps thing is a positive, but that's only half of the solution, people. Because you can take the horse to the fountain, but you can't make the horse drink. Yeah? If he's lost that oomph, you could have the best trainer in the world, to an extent. Or even if you had the best trainer still can't make you do something you don't want to do. And the fact that AJ's natural instincts didn't kick in when he was popped in the mouth. We're talking about one of the most ferocious boxers in the last few years. I find it hard to believe that he don't know. I need to get stuck in now. He knew against Klitschko he needed to get stuck in. But maybe the concept I'm describing here is the conditioning from Rob McCrappen. Yeah? Maybe this really is Rob McCrappen. Rob McCrappen's been cooking something up. Maybe that is what it is. Rob McCrappen is a don with a teacup. Just load him into that. And the thing is, I made a video 2 years ago saying that Rob McCrappen, his voice is so boring and monotone. I said eventually it's going to start rubbing off on AJ. This dullness, this softness, this moistness. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears. People said, YB, Rob McCrappen's got belts. YB, Rob McCrappen's got money. YB, Rob McCrappen's 30 years in the game. YB, Rob McCrappen's a pro boxer. That's what they said. Oops. All them things your man's Rob has rubbed off all the way into AJ. And AJ, I think, has become a 30-year-old, 6'6", Africanulese looking ass Rob McCrappen. That's what I think happened. We're looking at AJ, a body of AJ, and the head of Rob McCrappen. I think that's what's happened. For someone soft. Super soft and super dull looking. No passion. No one has ever watched anything of Rob McCracken and thought, I'm inspired. Yeah? And unfortunately, Rob McCracken's personality, that uninspiring personality, is exactly what we see in AJ's performances. Uninspiring. Wow. Hopefully, if and when he gets a trainer with some passion, we can we can rehabilitate his personality. Because the thing is, it's not just strategy. His personality is gone. Yeah? Watch the videos I'm talking about. That personality is gone. He's not the same person he was from 2016, 2015. That man was, yes, he was nice, if that makes sense. But he was vicious. You could hear the bad intentions in his voice. You could feel the alpha male. Now, he just looked big for nothing. So what are you big for? That's what I want to ask him. I'd love to. Any interviewer out there, yeah. Next time you interview AJ, ask him, AJ, what are you big for? Because the fans want to know. Because in fact, never mind the fans. Tell him, AJ, the YB dying to know. What are you big for? Because we can't work it out. And we know what you ain't big for. You ain't big for whooping people anymore. So what are you big for? Big green friendly giant looking ass. Yeah? What was that big dog's name? That big dog called something. Clifford. Big Clifford, the friendly dog looking ass. What's wrong with you?